Hello, everyone. It's decidedly autumnal this evening, and had I been a bit more organised, I would have got some wood sorted out and lit a fire. But it's been a funny day. I would say I've been in a fairly shitty mood all day with one thing and another. But I don't intend to dwell on that. That's been and gone, really. So what has happened? My wife has gone off for 10 days or something of a singing holiday she runs in Italy. Sorry. And as always, before she goes, she's a little bit, behaviour's a bit challenging. I suppose to match mine, because mine is challenging all the time. But anyway, hers is a bit challenging, and she did the thing that she's got into the habit of doing lately, which is just before she goes away. I mean, literally, when we're on the station or at the airport or whatever, she will suddenly bring up some really challenging topic, some deep criticism of myself and or my behaviour. I think, well, whoa, that's a great way to leave things when you're going away. So with our difficulties with communication last night and this morning, that leaves me feeling pretty crap today. And someone has suggested perhaps that's her aim. I don't know. I wouldn't think she does it consciously and deliberately. But maybe it is at some level her aim to make us both feel crap. Anyway, it seems to work. It's been a day of just stagnation, frittering away time, not really achieving anything. The van is ready to pick up from the garage, so I spoke to a neighbour about giving me a lift there to pick it up, and that was half an hour of listening to her, which is quite draining, actually. She's very amusing, and she's very kind, and she is the one, really, truly, the one good person in the village. But she's hard work. Well, she's tiring. I asked her because two reasons. I don't have anyone else locally to ask. And secondly, I didn't want to ask my friend who lives half an hour south of here, so it would be over an hour to go and pick the van up for her if she picked me up on the way. And she would probably say yes, but I wouldn't want to ask her. I don't like to put that sort of thing on her. She does enough. I must stop this stammer. I'm doing it again. This hesitation in speaking. She does a huge amount for me, as it is, and I really don't want to ask her to do more. So that's that. Had she offered, it would be a different thing. I would still probably say no, but I feel uncomfortable about saying no. So a day just mostly sitting around, just doing nothing, eating crap, which I don't normally do. I did go out to pick up a new tripod and some milk. It's some raw milk that I pick up for someone when I drop off on Fridays. Just because I'm not working doesn't mean I don't have to do that or don't want to do that. Time wasted, feeling crap about myself, eating crap food. And out of the blue, I had a communication from my sister, which is the first one for several days. I can't remember when I last wrote to her. I don't have a device handy to check, but it's possibly a week since I heard last. Sorry. This might partly be it's from the roaring for the video at the weekend still. Where was I? Sister, heard from my sister. And I gather things aren't good there. She's made some oblique references to difficulties with her husband before. I mean, I haven't been communicating with her for as much as a year yet, I don't think. Not sure. No, not a year. She has referred to her husband once or twice, not in particularly comfortable or not in a way that makes things sound particularly normal. And today she said that it's been difficult lately because he's been on a psychiatric ward for a few days and she had to go and pick him up today. And it seems that she will have to look after him for a while. For a while? Forever. What is it? Dementia or something else? At this stage I can't ask. But what is happening? See, that's hesitation, saying the wrong word. Itchy back as well. It seems she's going to have to give up her work to look after him. Or at the very least, go part-time. She was planning to retire next year, she said. But she might have to retire early or go part-time. And she doesn't really want to have to do this. What? Not want to go part-time? Not want to give up your work? Wow, like a shot. Anyway, everyone's different, aren't they? I've probably only ever once felt about a job that I would want to keep on doing it until I couldn't do it anymore. And that didn't last. Anyway, she's said this, and I was on the point of trying to find an opportunity to tell her a bit about my life and what's going on for me and difficulties here. And then she's suddenly thrown this into the arena. And I'm not quite sure what to say. I did pass it on to my friend who, as always, had some wise words. How does she do it? For virtually every situation I have, every dilemma or difficulty, she has words which either help me, help the situation, solutions for everything. Anyway, I shared it with her and she had some thoughts, suggestions, which I put into practice. Very good ones as ever. And did get back to my sister. What is interesting though is that growing up and knowing my sister up until, when was the last time I saw her? It would have been 85 or something. No, 86 or 7, so I would have been 26 or something like that. But for virtually all that time, we communicated, but I might have said this in another video, I can't remember. It was always very much a one-way communication. She would talk to me and share with me her thoughts, her difficulties, what was going on for her. And I really said nothing back in all that time. Which is perhaps why I've found it a bit difficult, because having contacted her re-establish communication after 37 years or whatever. She hasn't really talked. So the onus is more on me to say things, start things going. Whereas historically, all those years ago, she would have done the talking, I would have done the listening, and maybe try to make helpful noises or comments. And that's one of the reasons it's been so difficult for me to try and keep this communication going, because I've never had to do this with her, or indeed with anyone before. So it is interesting that she has come up with this nugget of personal information. And yes, it is great because it gives me the opportunity to talk about myself and what's going on here and what has gone on in the 37 years since I saw her last. But at the same time, her situation is obviously far more grave than what I'm facing at the moment. And I would feel a little bit mean if I were to start talking about my stuff over hers. So I don't know what to do there. But I have told her that if she wants to talk, I'm happy to listen. And I don't know whether it'll really register that. Knowing that she has problems helps me to feel less alone with mine. But we shall see where that goes, if anywhere. I don't know what the problem is with her husband, how much care he needs. She has referred to him being a bit difficult before. Maybe I'll find out. On a more local note, other than feeling crap today, yesterday, or I think it was yesterday, my friend hinted that I might be welcome to visit her this weekend for some, I don't know what to say here, some exploration with plant matter. I don't know. And indeed, when I saw her, or parted from her on Monday, she did mention the possibility of visiting the Naturists Club this weekend. But as we know, the weather being what it is now at the moment, I think that's not really going to happen. It'd be great if it was half decent, because as long as it's reasonable, there won't be the opportunity to spend too much time outside, which is what I really love. But there is a covered, heated pool in a sort of greenhouse structure, and we could spend time in there. She loves being in the pool. I derived a certain amount of enjoyment from it, but people around make it difficult. I think I talked about this. So the time I did brave the pool with her, she gave me some help with floating, and then there were at times we were joined by two other couples at different times. The woman of both couples gave me advice on floating and swimming. And even though I can't communicate back much, it was great. I was comfortable with it. And in some, well, more comfortable than I've been in a swimming pool for as long as I can remember, if ever. But certainly more comfortable than I am normally in interactions with people. It's great. If you haven't tried naturism, I would recommend it from my brief experience of 2 visits to a naturist club and a good few hours spent naked in the company of a friend, I can highly recommend it. It is, for me, so liberating. But I'm digressing. She did suggest that as a possibility for this weekend, weather permitting, on Monday when I saw her last. And then yesterday she extended this invitation to come and visit for a couple of journeys. So that makes it 2 days now. But I don't know whether that was visiting on 2 separate days or staying overnight on one night, 2 days. I don't know. And that was for my own development, shall we say, to help her with work. And we talked last weekend about making some more videos. 3 really tempting, and then possible naturism as well. 4 really tempting things. She hasn't mentioned it again today, and quite frankly, I've felt so crap that I haven't either. Because today she was working today, doing things with which I could have helped her. And I feel bad that I didn't bring up the subject of going down to help her today. But I just felt so shit. I just haven't been able to get off my arse and do anything all day. And my big selfish fear is that the offer isn't going to come back. That she is not going to reintroduce it. We shall see. We shall see what tomorrow brings. Dare I reintroduce the subject? I'll think about it. That'll probably do for the moment. I've rambled on for over a quarter of an hour. It wasn't intended to be that. Summarise difficulties with wife as she's gone away, and some text messages that are quite difficult to answer. Fair bit of communication with my friend, which is generally good, and this is certainly good today, and communication from my sister, which was unexpected. And I feel for her, but it has perhaps given us an opportunity to communicate with slightly more depth than we have been so far, which has been mostly the weather and things like that. So I feel better this evening than I have done all day, despite not having eaten anything worth eating at all. I'll leave it at that, and I will say to all of you out there, I wish you all well in your lives, and good night.